So many times on this channel, we have discussed seduction. We have discussed intimacy. We've discussed sex. We've discussed sexting. We've gone in. We've gone in. So somebody sent me this meme, and it basically says how to seduce an Aquarius. And they wanted me to read it and tell them if this would work on me and other Aquarius. So I'm like, all right, let's see what this is hitting for, okay? And I promised that I would tell the person, excuse me, I promised I would tell them if it was BS or not. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. My name is QueenAusetHeru, and thank you for joining me for another wonderful edition of Ask an Aquarius. If you haven't already, please hit the red subscribe button and smack the bell. Also, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and pass it on to anybody and everybody that you know. Please drop us some positive comments in the comment section. And if you want to get a reading done, please check out underneath this video, because all my personal information, all my socials, my email, all that will be underneath this video. And also my Patreon. Please join us on Patreon. And let me see, Ask an Aquarius merchandise, my Amazon wish list, all that kind of stuff is underneath this video. So let's get started and see about this list. Seducing an Aquarius. Now, this came from @Aquarius365. This must be Instagram. So the first one says, Aquarius loves having fun and all that good stuff, but they're intellectuals and are more concerned with how you think and who you are as a person. This person hit it out. They spot on. This first one is spot on, because let me tell you something. I have been talking to someone that I thought was hella sexy. And this has happened to me a lot. I mean, a lot. Thousands of times probably. Because Aquarius meet a lot of people. So I've been talking to somebody so many times who was so sexy, so fine, smelled so good, okay? Was on point. And then they started talking. They started talking stupid or being bigoted or negative, or, you know, said something that was repulsive. I mean, like, it's been so many times. And that's what I see with this first one. Yeah, concerned about how you think. Like, if you think ugly, like, one thing about me, I don't like bigots. I don't like bigots of any kind. I don't care who you hate. Keep that shit out of my face. Keep that shit to yourself. I hate that. I don't like hearing people talk about other groups of people and how awful they are and how much they hate them. And I'm going to tell you why. Because I'm in some of those groups, and it's always unfair. I hate women. I hate black people. I hate people who aren't Christian. Whatever the case is, you know, I hear this from all kinds of people. And it's not fair when it's me, and it's not fair when it's them. It's not fair when it's you. So I don't want to hear none of that shit. Okay? So if somebody come up to me talking about, oh, I hate this group, I hate that group, I hate this, I don't like that. How they think is like, I don't care how sexy you are. If you think ugly, you're ugly. Okay? That's period, point blank. And a lot of Aquarius feel that way. And they might not have the same hangups that I do. Maybe an Aquarius doesn't care if you're a bigot. You know, most of us would care about something like that because we're humanitarians. But it could be something else. Like maybe like they are very spiritually minded and you are dismissive of spirituality or something like that. It could be anything that they're really, you know, they really believe in, they really see as being important, and you come up with ideas, and it doesn't matter. Like Aquarius don't care if you agree with us, but if your thoughts are ugly, if the way you think is naturally illogical, unstable, ugly energy, we don't like that. And we don't care how you look, and we're not going to spend time with you. Like, that's period, point blank. And the other part of it said, who you are as a person. We have to respect you as a person. If an Aquarius doesn't respect you as a person, you're not getting no draws. You ain't getting no draws. You ain't getting no time. You're not getting a call back. You might not even get a text, because it's like, how, like, why? Why would I waste my time talking to somebody I don't respect as a person? So if you're going to step to an Aquarius, you need to make sure that you're a respectable person, and who the Aquarius would find to be a respectable person, that is. Because of course we all think differently. Well, what we respect for all of us is different. You know, I might respect strength. You might respect intelligence. You know, somebody else might respect, you know, chivalry or candor. You know, we all respect different things or combinations of different things. So if I was trying to seduce an Aquarius, I would try to be conscious of what that particular Aquarius respected. You know, that's a good first step, and making sure that you are those things. And if you're not, leave that Aquarius alone, because once they realize you're not, and don't fake it. Don't fake it, because once they realize you're not, they're going to drop you like a bad habit. Be honest and authentic with that energy, seriously. But finding that out, and finding out if you match it, could be very helpful. When seducing an Aquarius, it's important to show your brain works and how your personality can complete theirs. Yeah, we do want to see how your brain works. We want to see how you think, what you think about too, you know, like what kind of things. Like, are you always somebody who's thinking about celebrity gossip? Like, for instance, I'm gonna give you an example. I talk to my friends about ancient poetry. I talk to my friends about history, UFOs. I talk to my friends about spirituality constantly, divination constantly, spirits, ghosts, all kind of stuff. If I cannot talk to you about a plethora of different things, you're not going to be able to hold my attention long enough to seduce me. You know, you have to, you don't have to be formally educated. You just need to have read some books or some internet articles, you know, and be able to have an intelligent conversation about things that I'm interested in. You know, you ain't got to be the PhD of Harvard, you know, or a PhD from Harvard. You know, you just have to be somebody who can handle a intelligent conversation, you know, and if you can do that, then most Aquarius, yeah, they'll talk to you long enough, then you might be able to seduce them. Personality can complete theirs. Your personality is very important. And when they say complete, I would probably say compatible with, because your personality doesn't have to complete mine. My personality is already complete, but your personality should be compatible with mine, at least enough that we can have harmony, you know? So, you know, there's a comedian that has, I think it was Chris Rock. He said, if I'm going to church and you're going to smoke crack, this ain't going to work, you know? And it's supposed to be a joke, but when you think about it, the fundamental principle of it, it makes sense. I'm concerned with spirit and spirituality, or at least my own soul, and you're more concerned with entertainment, recreation, getting high, you know? And it may not be anything wrong with that, but it's just that these two things don't match, you know? So your personality does need to be compatible with my own, you know? So I definitely agree with that. Aquarius, they love people who use common sense. Oh my goodness. Common sense to me is like one of the biggest attractive qualities that a person can have, because so many people don't have it anymore. When I was a kid, common sense was just that, common. Everybody had it, or at least everybody talked about having it. You know, everybody seemed to have it. Now people do not have common sense. I see it on the internet all day long. Somebody will say the most outlandish thing and people will jump on the bandwagon, you know, believing them. And I'm sitting there looking like, this is absurd. And then it comes out 2 weeks later that it was a hoax. And I'm like, how did you even believe that? Like, it doesn't make sense. So that is something. Common sense is just not common. So if a person is intelligent, they got a good personality, and they have common sense, yeah, you're turning us on now. Most Aquarius are like, ooh, they're in the comment section like, okay, common sense, I see you come through. And know how to figure things out. I love a person that can figure things out, because I feel like in most settings with most people, I'm the one who figures everything out. I'm not talking about like major things. I'm talking about small things ever since I was a child. I feel like I was the one who was the most observant in a lot of cases and insightful and figured things out. So when another person can do that and it's not me having to use my brain power all the time, I'm happy. I'm happy. I'm like, okay, I like this person. I really enjoy that because I find a lot of people just, I don't know if they intellectually just want to be lazy or what the case is, but I found in a lot of cases, and a lot of Aquarius have told me this, we feel like we're the ones who have to think things through a lot. And we don't mind it because that's what we do. But it would be nice to have some help with that. By all means, take them out for a night on the town and have a ball, but make sure you're communicative. Some Aquarius are more extroverted than others. So yes, I would like to go out, especially if it's a first date. You know, I don't want to Netflix and chill on the first date. You know, I want to go to the coffee house or maybe dinner and a movie, you know, or maybe something creative, you know, like, you know, that I'm into, you know, sports or something, and you take me to a game or something, you know, that kind of thing. I'm into museums. That's a great first date. I would love a moonlight picnic. Do something creative like that, you know? So something that's creative or something like that. Yeah, a night out, definitely. And we need to have fun, because if you're not fun, I'm not going to want to see you again. And you can't seduce me if I don't want to see you again, you know? And be communicative. Yes, talk. Yes, talk to the Aquarius, because if you're not communicative, mind you, remember the Aquarius is listening for all these things. This you know, intellect, personality. We're listening for all this stuff. So you have to talk. You know, you got to let the Aquarius know who you really are authentically. Fascinate them with interesting topics. Yes, I love interesting topics, but it has to be topics that's interesting to the Aquarius. So if you talk to us a little bit, you probably know 2 or 3 things that we're interested in. So before the date, look those things up, you know, even if you don't know anything about them. Like, let's say, like, I like poetry. Everybody knows I like Rumi. So you might know nothing about Rumi, but guess what? It's easy to Google it. If you on Facebook, you can Google Rumi. Okay. And then when we see each other, be like, you know, have you ever read blah, blah, blah by Rumi? And I probably, maybe not, you know. No, send it to me. Oh, here it is. I read this earlier today. What do you think about stanza number 3? You know, go in, you know, research, you know. This is not the kind of date you just want to show up at. You want to do a little bit of research beforehand. And these things are easy because our phones are always in our hands. It kills me how little effort people put into these types of things when it's so easy. It's so easy. All right. And let them know you're willing to be a friend first. Oh my God. This person just seduced me through a meme. All of these check all my boxes. And yes, Aquarius often fall in love with our friends. You guys know I've said that 1,000 times. If I had $1 for every Aquarius that married their best friend, I would have all the dollars. It wouldn't be any more dollars, because Aquarius love friendship. We're the sign of friendship. So who better to marry than your friend? You know, anybody I ever got into a relationship with, we were friends first. Every single time, even if it wasn't like a long friendship, but we had a friendship, you know, the ones that lasted anyway, because there was spontaneous times when we weren't friends first, and those always fizzle out quickest. But anybody I'm serious about, I would like to have a friendship first, and it usually was a platonic friendship. Lastly, Aquarius crave closeness and authenticity. Yes, we do like to be close with people, but remember, we're detached at first. We become attached and closer over time. So the more we trust you, the more we let you in. So that's true. So we do want to be close, and we want authenticity. So we need to see that you're being real with us, you're being genuine, and you're not putting on a show, you know. I remember somebody was trying to screw me the other day. It was some dude, right? And it was funny as shit, y'all. And he started off by telling me all the things he had. That was how he tried to screw me. He told me about his truck, and he told me about his home, and about his job, and you know how many celebrities he knows. And I mean, he was going in, y'all, about all the things he has and does and can and this and that. I mean, he was just going in. And the whole time I'm sitting there, like, I don't even care, for real. And I'm just thinking to myself, he fake as fuck. He is fake as fuck because he had nothing to say other than trying to impress me with his material things. He had nothing else to say. It was like the whole conversation was that. So it was like, you definitely not going to seduce me, and you're fake. You're telling me all of this about yourself, but really haven't said nothing at all. You know, and I'm queen of that. I'm queen of talking my ass off, but I ain't said nothing to the person. You know, because Aquarius are really good. Remember I said about being detached. So I could be telling you things, but not really revealing much really about myself. So as I was having this conversation with him, I'm listening to him and I'm thinking, you got to be a lot more authentic if you expect me to even keep listening. And I didn't keep listening. The conversation was shortly over because I wasn't showing him no way. It wasn't getting none, no way. But the conversation was over quicker because I'm like, I can't even be cool with you. I can't even be friendly with you because you fake. So authenticity is really important. So yes, this is an awesome list. So if you're out there and you're thinking about seducing an Aquarius, and so the art of seduction is not a negative thing, or you know, some type of like, you know, like sinister thing. Seduction is about enticing a person to be interested in you. That's it. So if you want to entice an Aquarius to be interested in you, that's a damn good list. Okay, seduction does not mean manipulation. Matthew at Matthew Willis. Hey Matthew 3693. Matthew said, wow, this is why people should get a reading and cleanse a home before they buy it. The lady died and left a dark portal open that allowed these beings to come through. Matthew was talking about a video that I did about the Conjuring House. If you guys want to see it. If I remember, I'll put a link right up here. But the Conjuring House, you guys know The Conjuring is a movie, right? But the actual house that the movie is based on is a real place. And I did a reading on it to see what really was going on. And that's what was going on. So if you're buying a property or renting a property, it does pay to get a reading on the property before you buy it. And if the reading is cool and they're like, yeah, it's a good place, still cleanse that place before you move in your belongings. You know, with sage, frankincense, and myrrh. There's so many different ways you can do it. Get somebody who's spiritual that, you know, that talks some sense to come in and cleanse your space. That is 100% true, because you never know what kind of energy is there. You don't. Somebody could have died there. Somebody could have been tortured there. You never know what happened in the space, and that kind of energy has a tendency to stay in the space. Maya Karen 8036. Hey Maya. Maya said, very interesting video. I think the same. And this is the same one about the Conjuring. So she thinks an exorcism to the doll. That could make sense. Oh no, this isn't the Conjuring. This is the Annabelle doll. That's another one I did. I read Annabelle too. I was on a roll. I was on the roll that week. I did Annabelle, the Conjuring House, and I talked about the Warrens, the people, the husband and wife team that investigated all these things in the Conjuring series. So she thinks they should exorcise Annabelle. Yes, objects can be cursed too, possessed. I always sage things when I buy them or given to me. Because you never know people's energy and intentions. This is 100% true. If you get something secondhand, you really should. Even things I get firsthand. If I get crystals, for example, from Amazon, for example, I sage them or use frankincense and myrrh before I use them. You know, I do this with anything because you don't know what energy has touched things before it comes to you, especially if it's secondhand. At a thrift store, somebody gave it to you or something like that. And some people will use sage. Some people will use, like I said, frankincense and myrrh. And I do think an exorcism on the doll might be helpful, especially for what they said is in the doll, you know? So I agree with that 100%. And you never know people. I mean, people, you know, if somebody is skilled with doing negative magic, they could do something to harm you. You know, at least they could try. You know, depends on how skilled they are, but they could. And so you don't know a person's intentions. You don't know what their energy is. You don't know if it's, you know, yucky. You know. So I agree with that 100%. All right, guys, you come back soon because I got a lot more to say. See you later.